two issues I want to talk about. In a minute, I'll circle back to the so-called date rape drugs. But first, I want to talk about the lockdown that happened in Central Middle School, because I don't think that that happened in October, so I don't think you've been here since that, unless I'm misremembering. I don't think we've talked about it. So just full disclosure, my daughter goes there and was there during that incident. So I take an interest in it not only as a local government leader, but also as a parent. And I've been to the subsequent follow-up meetings there, that one was led by the principal, another by the school district, who had therapists come in and talk to parents about how to talk to their kids about dealing with a traumatic event at a school. So I wanted to just use this as an opportunity to thank Vic PD for interventions there, but also to clarify what happened, because there has been a lot of misinformation at Central, and the principal has been talking about this and staff have been talking about it. So maybe where to start is, and I've had questions from parents about this that I'm passing on to you now. I think where people's minds went initially was that it was an unhoused person. Are you able to clarify the housing situation of this person? Did they come from a shelter close by? Did they come from supportive housing? Are you aware of that?
Sure. I don't have all the details, but my understanding is that we want to be careful that we're not labeling people of what it was. It was a really unsafe situation where somebody wandered into a school and a student had to phone. To answer point blank your question, my understanding is the person was not from a nearby shelter or was not unhoused. But like I say, we just want to be really, really careful. It's not something that we would publicly talk about out of respect for you. I'm answering the question. Yeah. But there were some significant challenges. We're actually trying to work with Central Middle School and the district. It has not been easy. There's some apprehension around we went through and we want to go through some of the lockdown procedures. It was a bit clunky. It did not go well. Our officers don't have a school liaison officer in that school. We did not know the layout of the school. There was miscommunication. There was significant delays that could have led to something more serious happening if the situation had unfolded differently. So we're trying to work with the district and the school, and we're happy to meet with parents. We're happy to debrief this, but we've been met with some challenges about what information, police being welcome back in the school, the optics of that. And so we're trying to work through some of these challenges. We would love nothing more than to be openly communicating and sharing what were some of the lessons learned. There was a lot of great things that happened, by the way. Yeah. And also kind of highlight that and thank the school and the students for the actions that they did take. Yeah, and through the mayor, I mean, one of the big issues, which is not really on Vic PD, it's more on the school district, is that parents weren't notified until hours and hours later. Or parents went to pick up their kids and they found out from their kids that this event had happened 4 hours earlier. Yeah. So the school district, I think, definitely has some lessons learned about how we improve communication if there is a critical incident at a school, because frankly, it was unacceptable. The rumor mill has also been churning at Central about whether or not this individual was armed. Are you able to clarify if they were armed? I don't know if they were or not. I'm just going to turn to Deputy Chief Jamie McRae if he knows the answer to that. Not sure. Cheryl, do you know? No, I'm sorry. I don't have the information on whether this individual is armed or not. Last question maybe on that one is that the individual did end up getting tasered. I believe that was noted publicly. Can you explain the rationale there? Were they resisting arrest, or what happened in the incident? Yeah, sure. Again, I wasn't there, and I've not actually read the details of the use of force that was applied. I'm aware of the media release that we did and the general things. So I'm going to answer very generally. I hope I answer part of the question, at least to your satisfaction. So in the use of force framework, it's a national use of force framework that every police officer is trained on. When we were able to get into the area where this individual was, the individual was given commands to comply. The officers create distance. We don't go hands-on because we're not sure if the person has weapons. We're trying to basically assess the situation very, very quickly. We had isolated this individual, so it's not like this individual could take hostages or run to a part. Then we initiated dialogue. It's about de-escalation. It's about letting this individual know that the police are there and what we need them to do. So those discussions would have occurred. I'm extremely confident that our officers who responded would have done that. When there is non-compliance, the officers then have an option, a range of options and tools that they use. The first one is dialogue, presence and dialogue. After that, they would then escalate to bring the person safely into custody. And so one of the tools that we have is a conducted energy weapon, commonly referred to as a taser. And I do understand that the taser was deployed for this individual in that circumstance.
Thanks for that. And to the extent that you're able to clarify more of these details for the school community, I'd appreciate it, because I do know that there is some lack of clarity, and you got middle schoolers, right, involved. So obviously there's rumors going on, and there's hyperbole that ends up happening. So I appreciate all those answers, and that clarifies a number of things for me.